Hmm. Just talking about waiting. Myself and my wife, we have a story about waiting for a child as well. We had fertility issues. We ended up having our first son 19 months ago through IVF, um, and then less than a year, well, right at a year later, after IVF, she ends up getting pregnant with twins with absolutely no medical thing. So we waited for 6 years for our
But
first
let's be
child.
clear. Let's be really clear here.
Okay.
She was pregnant with twins with no IVF.
No IVF.
Yeah,
Yes.
let's
No.
just make it
No
clear that.
medical. It was supposed to be impossible. It didn't
All right,
happen.
I didn't want anybody to think like
It's
you
immaculate.
said that
No.
there was later
No. No medical
no
intervention.
IVF.
Yeah.
Okay.
But the thing is, it was 6 years, and you know the first year of waiting, it was rough, but it was like, hey, it's sorting out. Second year, it got a little harder, but you know, year 3 and 4 was tough because at that point there's that uncertainty of like when or is it ever going to happen, and then you almost hit into a space of almost resigning yourself to thinking it's just never going to happen. And so you talk about that waiting period for him. It begins to make sense then later on when God is having to reaffirm this promise and why it seems like they keep falling into that trap of thinking, well, we might not ever have this son. Let's make other plans. Because we because we have such a short life and because our faith wavers in God all the time. Even if we're strong in the faith, like we have doubts and we have fears. God constantly has to remind us of his goodness and his gracious and remind us of his promises. And so I'm telling you, 6 years was rough. I can't even imagine waiting the length that they did after already waiting the length early on in their life of not having children in the normal time frame and window. It's just, I mean, talk about a man of real faith.
Well, can you imagine, like at whatever point God appeared to him in
Mm,
whatever point, can you imagine when they left Haran
mhm.
and they get to the land of Canaan, the land that God said, "I'm going to show you
Yeah.
where to go," and they get there, and God like reconfirms His covenant right there. I mean,
Mhm.
pretty early. Can you imagine their anticipation
Mm.
at that point? Like they've probably already waited at least a decade. Think about this. Then they get to the land and they're thinking every month,
Mm.
surely
This
this
is the
month,
month.
surely this month,
Mm.
and month, and he's already 75.
Mhm.
Even to anticipate, but surely they were. And I just think a powerful CBT esque question is,
Mhm.
why would God do that?
Mm.
Why would God make someone wait? Why would He promise, "I'm going to give you a son. I'm going to make your name great. Every family on earth is going to be blessed through your descendants"? Why would God say that to one of His servants and then make them wait?
Mm.
And you just really begin to, over and over and over through the story of the Bible, see God doing this. And I've come to the point, or where I am right now on my faith journey, is I just really believe that waiting is a crucial aspect to our faith. And
Mhm.
God, God wants us to learn by waiting how to obey Him,
Mm.
and how to trust Him and how to believe Him. And if you look at Abraham, God needed Abraham to obey when God said, "Put your son on the altar of atonement."
Mhm.
God needed that picture because God needed that generation to know and to push forward to next generations that
Mhm.
God will provide
Yep.
the seed of promise.
Mm.
So God takes more than 25 years
Mhm.
to make sure that this dude, Abraham, is ready to obey when God says, "Put your son on the altar."